Good morning to wherever you are, and welcome to this service at Roslyn Hill Unitarian Chapel. I see some of you have come from afar. Great to see you with us. This second Sunday of Advent, the service is entitled Stillness, stillness being the theme for this month at the chapel. I'm Rev Jim Corrigall, pastoral minister at the chapel. Well, let's take time to come together, wherever we are, to enter a sacred space together and to allow a sense of its presence to enfold us as we enjoy a musical prelude. Thank you, John. We're in the season of Advent. And to begin the service, I light the chalice candle. Here at home, and I invite Shana to light 2 candles for Advent in the chapel as we anticipate the light coming into the world with words from Cliff Reed. Autumn's beauty has been blown away. Winter's darkness enfolds us, and spring seems a distant prospect. But your light and hope have not abandoned us, O God, whom we abandon. We give thanks for the great festival that now approaches, as we give thanks for him whose birth it celebrates. May your love in him be bright, before us and within us, in this time of anticipation. As I said, the theme for the service today is Stillness, the theme of the month at Roslyn Hill Chapel. And the first reading, the reading today comes from a poem, a late poem by William Butler Yates, Long-Legged Fly. It's one of his very last great wisdom poems. Long-Legged Fly by W.B. Yates. That civilization may not sink, its great battle lost, quiet the dog, tether the pony to a distant post. Our master Caesar is in the tent where the maps are spread, his eyes fixed upon nothing, a hand upon his head. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, his mind moves upon silence. That the topless towers be burnt, and men recall that face. Move most gently, if move you must, in this lonely place. She thinks part woman, 3 parts a child, that nobody looks. Her feet practice a tinker shuffle, picked up on the street. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, her mind moves upon silence. That girls at puberty may find the first Adam in their thought. Shut the door of the Pope's chapel, keep those children out. There on that scaffolding reclines Michelangelo, with no more sound than the mice make, his hand moves to and fro. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, his mind moves upon silence. Our hymn this morning, Come and Find the Quiet Center, hymn number 21 in the Purple Hymn Book. Thank you, John. And so we come now to a time for prayer and for silent prayer. Let us be still as we move into a time of quiet, with words adapted from Roger Courtney. Worship is the opportunity to take time out from our daily lives, to reconnect with the source of life and love, to be refreshed and renewed, to listen to the divine spirit that permeates all things, to seek healing of broken bones, broken lives, broken relationships, to seek forgiveness for things we have done wrong, to reflect on the deepest meaning of our lives, to recommit to try and follow the right way. In the silence that follows, a short time for quiet prayer and reflection. May the divine spirit fill our hearts. Now, during the music for reflection, I'll ask Shana to light candles for all of us as we reflect on the joys and concerns of our lives as we listen to music for reflection and enjoy it. Well, some say that stillness and silence are different things, and I think that's true, but they are very closely related, and I've been using them in this service uh, interchangeably, really, and I intend to continue doing so for the rest of this service on the basis that stillness and silence are, as I say, closely related. And stillness is the theme this month at Roslyn Hill Chapel. Well, in our reading today, in the poem Long-Legged Fly by the late 19th and early 20th century Irish poet W.B. Yates, you'll recall the word silence being repeated 3 times in the refrain, a rather haunting refrain at the end of each stanza. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, his mind moves upon silence. So what's this Yates poem about? What does it mean? And can it teach us anything? I think Yates is writing about genius, or 3 different types of historical greatness, and what sustained these 3 individuals. In the first stanza, the great Roman military tactician Julius Caesar is sitting in his tent preparing to battle with the Gauls, battles to preserve civilization, Yates tells us. So keep everything quiet. But Caesar's apparently not doing anything, not even looking at the maps, while his mind, we are told, moves upon silence. Like a long-legged fly, dancing silently across the water, yet leaving the surface stillness barely disturbed. The next great historical figure that Yates presents is the personification of beauty and grace, Helen of Troy. We know it's Helen from the lines that the topless towers be burnt and men recall that face, which echo lines about Helen and the Trojan Wars from Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus. Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burnt the topless towers of Ilium? Again, we are urged by the poet, don't disturb her, be quiet, while the young Helen practices a tinker dance to herself in self-forgetful innocence, while her mind too moves upon silence. And then in the final stanza, we meet Michelangelo, the artistic genius, reclining on the scaffolding of the Sistine Chapel as he paints the creation of Adam. Apparently he didn't really recline on the scaffolding. That was shown in the agony and the ecstasy, but apparently he stood with his neck very craned, I'm assured, by more modern historians. In the final stanza, I say, we meet Michelangelo as there he is painting the creation of Adam in the Sistine Chapel, his hand moving to and fro with no more noise than the mice make, Yates tells us. And his mind, well, it's the same as the other 2. Shall I read the poem again so we get a better sense of it? Long-legged fly. That civilization may not sink, its great battle lost. Quiet the dog, tether the pony to a distant post. Our master Caesar is in the tent where the maps are spread, his eyes fixed upon nothing, a hand upon his head. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, his mind moves upon silence. Let the topless towers be burnt, and men recall that face. Move most gently, if move you must, in this lonely place. She thinks part woman, 3 parts a child, that nobody looks. Her feet practice a tinker shuffle, picked up on the street. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, her mind moves upon silence. That girls at puberty may find the first Adam in their thought. Shut the door of the Pope's chapel, keep those children out. There on that scaffolding reclines Michelangelo. With no more sound than the mice make, his hands move to and fro. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, his mind moves upon silence. Long-legged fly. Well, much can be said about this poem, but I'm going to stick to one central point. Yates is telling us that what nurtures and sustains the creativity, in the broadest sense, of Julius Caesar, Helen of Troy, and Michelangelo is that their minds move upon silence. Okay, but what does this silence mean? Does it mean nothingness? Is Yates saying their minds operate in a vacuum? I think not. But what is it then? Well, perhaps an experience of mine might help us here. Now, I'm no genius, and I'm not even particularly creative. But I think Yates is highlighting a quality we all share to a degree. I know many of you here are creative. Some of you write poetry, others make beautiful garments. I feel my only creative act of recent years is writing sermons. And I've developed a method that seems to work. Early in the week, I choose my normally 2 readings for the service to suit the theme. Then each morning early, I read through these readings in the light of the theme, once or twice, not for long, then I get on with my day. Normally, I write the sermon on Friday, when I go through the readings again, and then I go through the readings again on the Friday for a 3rd or 4th time and let them sink in again, sketch out a plan, and write. And ideas normally flow. Somehow it seems the import of those readings, their essence, has lodged with me, so that when I write, a startling insight might come, or association. And I believe this deeper understanding comes from those early morning read-throughs, which once completed each morning, I forgot about. But while my conscious mind may have forgotten them, I think my unconscious mind has not. Unbeknown to me, it's processing these preparations of mine deep within, working on my behalf without me even knowing it, including, I think, in my sleep. And isn't this the strange truth this poem points to? That your best thinking, your truly creative work, can happen so deep within your mind, you're not even aware of it. So then, can we still those chattering minds of ours and allow the deeper mind to engage? Yates makes us feel just how powerful this deeper engagement can be. In each stanza, the onlooker is told the genius is doing nothing, staring at nothing, doing a tinker shuffle. And then comes that refrain, Yates showing us where the dynamism is. Like a long-legged fly upon the stream, her mind moves upon silence. The real power of the mind, in its fullest sense, lies in the depths, well below surface consciousness. So the lesson for us this Advent season, create stillness in your life, at least sometimes. Let your mind quieten and still. Allow deeper creative forces to shape you. And you might even surprise yourself as we await the light coming into the world this Christmas. May it be. Amen. And now, a final blessing. May we learn to move into silence, to dwell there, allowing our minds to become still. A stillness that can allow for deep reflection and contemplation. Where we meet ourselves in the furthest reaches of our being. And then may the blessings of this season of peace and goodwill be with us, now and through the season. Amen. So now a time for reflection, perhaps to reflect on the silence at the heart of life, as we enjoy a musical prelude. A musical postlude. Thank you, John.